Baby Claressa Shields has always been quick to clap back. Tasha K spoke, 50 Cent spoke, Remy Ma spoke, and every single time Claressa had something to say. But now the accusations are coming from someone who claims she helped raise her, and suddenly there's complete silence. No posts, no live streams, no response. And for someone who never stays quiet, that silence has the internet asking its biggest questions yet. Buckle up, because this story goes far beyond social media drama, and the receipts only get wilder from here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, you're in the right place, because we don't do surface level gossip. We break down the timelines, the receipts, and the stories everyone else skips. And today, we're diving into one of the most explosive claims surrounding Claressa Shields yet. This isn't just another internet feud. This is a family story that's raising some very uncomfortable questions. The woman making these claims says she was there from the very beginning, helping provide, helping raise, and playing a major role in Claressa's early life. She even claims to have an emergency plan 911 file dedicated to Claressa, while Claressa herself has remained completely silent. And when someone known for answering every critic suddenly says nothing at all, the internet starts paying attention. So let's get into the receipts and see what this story is really about.
I'm gonna need y'all to come on in here, cause I'm keeping the money in the house. You cool? How you think y'all was able to get shoes and clothes and cause your mama was getting social security checks for all of y'all, and some of y'all she was getting 2 and 3 checks for. And the only thing she would do was go buy 1 meat pack at the meat market on DuPont Street, Shorthorn, full of pork chops and pork. And cans of corn and cans of green beans. Why you think me and Claressa was eating green beans out of cans? And why you think Claressa's favorite food right now is green beans? Because I told her green beans make you strong. And she said, I want to be strong like you, Charlotta. So her favorite vegetable is a green bean.
Before the championships, the fame, and the $1 million paydays, there was a little girl growing up in Flint with very little. According to Shalita, life wasn't about luxury. It was about survival, stretching every meal and doing whatever it took to get through another day. She claims she was one of the people helping keep that household together when times were at their hardest. And those childhood memories are now at the center of a very public dispute. Shalita says the green beans weren't just food. They were a reminder of sacrifice, struggle, and the people who stood beside Claressa before the world knew her name. She believes those early years should never be forgotten, no matter how much success comes later. That's why these claims have resonated with so many people online, because no amount of fame can rewrite where someone came from. And when someone who says they lived that journey with you starts speaking out, the internet can't help but listen. Green beans and survival. That is where Claressa Shields started. And the woman who put that plate in front of her is now on Facebook Live. And baby, she did not come to celebrate. But before we go any deeper, we need to talk about what actually started all of this. Because the crackhead allegations flying around the internet, Shalita had something very specific to say, and her response was not defensive. It was devastating.
Brianna, you was 5, 6 years old, being touched on and molested, and your mama was allowing it. And you gonna say that I was on drugs? If I was on drugs, a drug addict would have went to a said, let me get some drugs so I can get the on. Keep on doing what you're doing. That's what the drug addict would have did. Cool. Drugs wouldn't have gave a that you was being touched on, bitch. A motherfucker on drugs would only cared about they drugs, bitch. I was on my way to college, ho. Is you cool? I don't do
Nigeria and others publicly labeled Shalita a crackhead, but instead of backing down, she fired back with a completely different narrative. She argued that someone battling addiction wouldn't be capable of protecting children, holding a household together, or making the sacrifices she says she made. Then she turned the spotlight on her critics, accusing them of having their own issues and telling them to look in the mirror before judging anyone else. That response immediately shifted the conversation because the argument was no longer about insults. It became a battle over credibility. The internet instantly split into two sides, with everyone trying to decide whose story made more sense. But here's where things became far more complicated. Shalita didn't just defend herself. She also made serious accusations, shared personal family details, and escalated the conflict in ways that left many viewers uncomfortable. That's why people started asking whether she was exposing the truth or pursuing a personal agenda of her own. The reality is that both things could be true at the same time. And that's what makes this story so difficult to untangle. Because when everyone claims to have the receipts, the hardest part isn't finding the evidence. It's figuring out who the evidence actually supports.
Oh, that's why I'm talking about she not my cousin. The shit you say right now make me wish I would have continued letting your dumb ass get molested. Now, I said it. The shit you say now make me wish I could have changed my mind and have been a heartless bitch and let you continue to get molested until another that you care so much about now came to rescue you. I can't believe
Now, this is where the story takes a much darker turn. During her live stream, Shalita made deeply personal claims about events from years ago and described stepping in to protect a family member during an extremely difficult time. If those claims are true, they point to trauma that goes far beyond internet drama. But what shocked viewers wasn't just what she alleged. It was that those painful memories became part of a public argument. The moment those words were spoken, the conversation stopped being about social media and became something much more serious. That's why this situation has left so many people divided. On one hand, Shalita portrayed herself as someone who sacrificed to protect others. On the other, many questioned whether deeply personal family trauma should ever be used during a public dispute. Either way, the live stream exposed years of unresolved hurt, resentment, and broken relationships that had been hidden from the public. This no longer looked like ordinary family drama. It looked like decades of pain finally spilling into the open. And once a family reaches that point, there are some wounds that no live stream can ever repair.
No, I'm going to put it out there. Remy, my friend, the one who originally started calling Claressa Clarence, that's the one she wanted somebody to go put hands on. And specifically, when I say somebody, I'm saying me. Look, is we talking about?
Now, here's the allegation that stopped the internet in its tracks. Shalita claimed Claressa wanted her to physically confront Remy Ma after the online feud exploded. If true, that's a serious claim, especially considering Claressa's status as one of boxing's biggest stars. Inside the ring, she's built a reputation for handling business herself, which is exactly why this accusation caught so much attention. The suggestion that someone else would be asked to step in instead completely changed the tone of the conversation. And almost overnight, the debate shifted from social media insults to questions about what was allegedly happening behind the scenes. What made the claim even more controversial was that it echoed accusations Remy Ma had been making for months. Until now, many people dismissed those comments as nothing more than post-breakup drama. But when similar allegations appeared to come from within Claressa's own family, the internet started looking at the story through a different lens. That doesn't prove the claims are true, but it does explain why public interest exploded. Because when different people begin telling similar stories, audiences naturally start asking tougher questions. And that's exactly where this controversy is now.
And I got a message to Papoose. I just want y'all to know that I have a file in my laptop called the Claressa Shields Emergency Plan, 911 Emergency Plan, where I have already written up and provided all of the evidence of her being an unstable millionaire. If need be, I will present this shit to the disability board so that the disability act people can involve the lawyers and get them involved and help with the litigation of her money. Y'all can say all the shit y'all want, that I'm jealous and I want this and I want that. I'm trying to do this and trying to do that. I did not sacrifice my scholarship for to give everything to a married man. So if I got to go and make sure that this go back to being broke so that I can
Then came one of the most shocking claims of all. Shalita said she has a laptop file called the Claressa Shields Emergency Plan 911. Which she claims contains evidence she intends to use in pursuing legal action. She even spoke about seeking outside intervention over Claressa's affairs, turning what started as a family dispute into something that sounded far more serious. Whether any of that ever happens remains to be seen, but the claim alone immediately grabbed the internet's attention. What made the situation even more noticeable was Claressa's silence. She's known for responding quickly to critics, yet she hasn't publicly addressed these allegations. That silence has fueled endless speculation online, with people offering every possible explanation. Of course, staying silent doesn't confirm or deny any claim, but it has become one of the biggest talking points in the entire controversy. And until either side provides more evidence or responds further, the questions are likely to keep growing. And that's where we're leaving this story for now. Shalita mentioned Papoose's name, then suddenly stopped, making it clear she believes there's more left to reveal. If she's willing to make claims this serious publicly, that unfinished sentence has the internet wondering what's coming next. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Claressa will eventually respond, or will the silence continue? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit the like button if you enjoyed the breakdown, subscribe for the next update, and share this with someone following the story. Because sometimes the biggest controversies don't come from strangers. They come from the people who knew you long before the fame, the championships, and the spotlight. And in stories like this, the past has a way of resurfacing when people least expect it.